Pretty sneaky, sis. Yeah! Hey everybody, this is Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, bringing you the next episode of Beard Games, my gameplay series where I focus on not video games, but board games, where I call it Beard Games. Yes, Beard Games. So we're going to start out by playing some board games, and the board game I've selected for you today is Connect 4. Yes, Connect 4. It's a Milton Bradley, and maybe even a Hasbro game, according to the box. But it's sort of like a checkers, but it's a vertical, and we're gonna play this today on Happy Beard Games. Let's go! Alright guys, it's Connect 4, the vertical 4 in a row checkers game. Now it is kind of like checkers, and it's kind of based on checkers. However, you'll see that the gameplay is not so much like checkers, and it's more of just a matching game, like it says 4 in a row. So they don't really try to deceive you too much, but it does use checker style pieces. Now, just look at the box, two people playing a game. Pretty simple. This is the Hasbro. I don't know if this was always by Hasbro, but it's also by Milton Bradley, so there's a combination of those two companies. It's ages 7 and up, so watch out for that, kids. Oh, by the way, guys, this is the 1998 version of the game. Okay, cool. So here's the box lid. Connect 4. Don't need that right now. Now, this is what comes inside the box. You got your tower here, your board, as you may call it, and you'll be needing that to play the whole game. So if you don't have that, then you're not going to have Connect 4. Let's set this bad boy up. Two pieces here, actually. You've got your catcher, which is like this big plastic blue thing. There's a lot of plastic in this set. It's mostly a plastic game. There's not so much board as there is plastic. So you've got this big yellow grate. You're going to need this, and you're also going to need to know which side is the top and which side is the bottom. We'll figure that out together in a bit. You're also going to need your two sides that say Connect 4. And I believe the inside part is this part with the licensing and Milton Bradley. You have another one that's the exact same. So you've got two of those. Both the same identical pieces, but you'll need two of them. And then inside the box you have your pieces, and I'm not sure how much you need, but we look like we got enough here to fill up this whole board. I'm going to go ahead and set these pieces aside while we set up the game, so it'll be a little bit easier to set up on this small table. Now, I don't have instructions for this game, so I think I know how to play it. It's quite simple, actually. But there may be some advanced methods that I don't know exactly. Alright, now, I've hooked this up wrong before, and it seems really simplistic, so there's only two ways you can really do it. But you want to make sure these little nubs on the side that stick out, these will go into these blue posts. And basically, you want to make sure that they're facing downward. You can kind of see them right there, and then you can see how there's a little notch right there, and they go downward. You want to be facing downward because, well, I'll explain that in a few moments. But first we got to take this little slider here and put this guy on the bottom. So now we know where the bottom is. So just slide it on right here. I believe you can do it on either side. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is the right side you're supposed to do it, because there's actually a stopper right there. Right there's the stopper. And it stops that, so that way you can slide it off easily. I believe that's how it works. Either that or it's backwards once again. So let's try to set this up. A little bit different without instructions, so setting up a little more cumbersome than I thought it would be. So you just poke these into that holes, and you want to make sure you have it on the Connect 4 side once again. Now the reason you want these pegs to be facing downward is so when you play, you'll be pushing on the top here. Now if I was pushing on the top here and they were facing up, this would just fall down. But if you're playing this way and you're pushing things in the top, like those checker pieces basically, this will hold in and it'll hold in place. It's a little tricky, it's cheaper plastic, but it works as a gameplay piece. Now let's see if I hooked up the bottom part correctly. And I did, okay. So you can see that this part, things could fall through there. And then you slide it over, And now things cannot fall through because there's little tiny plastic bars that hold up your coins. Yes, it's very simplistic, but it's a fun game. So let's get started with Connect 4. When you're setting up a board game, it's good to have things organized, not just in this board game, but in any board game. This one's quite simplistic, of course. However, on some advanced games like Dungeons and Dragons, you really need to have organization skills. So one way you can start with that is just starting early on with simple board games. Keep pieces that are obviously the same together, that go to the same thing, and just keep them next to each other. This also applies to when you're packing up the board game for next time. You want to keep them organized in the box as well. Don't just throw everything in there, because next time it's going to be a pain to set up, and that might actually stop you from playing the game in the first place. One good idea for this game is to keep your checker pieces in the box as a container, unless you have like a bag or something, but or a cup. You might want to put it in a cup or a bowl, because that actually would be really handy now that I think about it. But yeah, if you don't have anything else, just use the box. It works fine. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set up an example game, and then you'll get the idea of how the gameplay plays. I don't have anyone to play it with today. It's a 2-player game. And I don't have anyone to play it with, but I just want to show you the basic rules and what it's like to play the game Connect 4. Now the object of Connect 4 is obviously to connect 4 pieces of the same color for your own team. So basically one team is red, one team is black, and I'm going to go with the black team. So I'm going to take out all my pieces and stack them over here, and just kind of keep them all in my own area of the board, the table at least. Now we're going to take all these pieces out. It doesn't matter if they're heads or tails. I don't know if you can see that, but Connect 4 on one side, MB Milton Bradley on the other. Just taking out all my pieces for my team. There actually comes with quite a few pieces. I don't know if there's a minimum required pieces that you need to have on this game. I mean, normally it would come with it, but I've had this since 1998, so I'm assuming many of these pieces have been lost or at least moved around from over the years. So we've got a red team over here. I'm going to keep these in the box so I don't lose them because I'm playing with myself. Okay, so when you start out the game, you want to make sure that you don't have your slider over, because this is what will happen if you slide it down. It'll just fall down, and it falls like that on every hole. So that's kind of something you got to look out for. And that's actually one of the funner parts of the game, is the sliding feature. It actually makes it really kind of exciting towards the end of the game, because you'll see what happens. You can probably expect it though. So basically what you're doing in this game is it's turn-based. Basically I go first, and then the opponent goes next. And you go, like, it's like a tic-tac-toe, sort of 3 in a row, except it's 4 in a row. So it's Connect 4. So you're going back and forth. Now, you're going back and forth turn after turn, one versus the other. Now, how do you make plays? Now, there's some good ways you can do this. For just an example of some plays you could do in the game to help yourself win, you could start by, okay, you're going back and forth. Like, you and your player are kind of like trying to compete against each other, so you're trying to think alike. And then maybe you'll start by filling up the whole bottom, and then you just kind of go along, and then maybe red player wants to start going up in that section. Now, the good thing about this game is not only is it vertical, and that's kind of cool and unique, but you can see it on both sides. So you can see right here exactly what I'm seeing on this side. So it's kind of like looking down on a game board, but it's also like having a game board that's, you can just see both sides. So it's really easy for 2 players to kind of like, I don't know, it almost seems more like a battleship, the way you have this shield up and you're like kind of like strategizing behind it, and then you can both see the field on each other side of the table. So it's pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool design here. I'm not going to lie. It's actually quite unique, and it does kind of remind me of the game Battleship. So he's moving up, and then I'm moving there, so then I try to block him. Now, what he could do is start going this way, and I'll start going that way, too. But then, yeah, there's just so many things you can do in this. And then see, look, now he's there, and he has 3 in a row. And then he also has some going vertical. So as the game moves on, you'll see different opportunities to make plays and try to win. So if I move there, that would be my flaw. So he would have Connect 4, and that'd be the game for the red team. So there's different ways you can play it. It's not like checkers, where checkers is like it's a competition, sort of like, you know, you're going back and forth. This one is just like a matching game. It's very simple. It does say ages 7 and up. I don't know why it says that, because this is a game that I think you might be able to play if you're a little bit younger. The rules are very simple. If I can understand Super Mario Bros. And Legend of Zelda at age 5, I think a lot of kids can understand Connect 4. The only problem is these pieces are quite small, so I wouldn't recommend it for children under 3. Unless you're playing with an adult, then I'd probably say you could play it if you're 3 years old. But I don't know, I'm not a parent, but that's just going off my own memory of when I was a kid. Now I'm a squid. Here's the fun part of the game, guys. You can actually reset the game. You don't pull them out. You don't pick them out. You do this. Yeah! You got to get those pieces out, and you flush them out through the bottom. Kind of sounds gross. You can probably get the idea of what Connect 4 is really like. Now, just for fun, we're going to fill up this entire board. Be sure to switch it over to the lock. And we're going to fill up the entire board here, just one by one, and see how many we can fill up on this board and make a big flush. You know, I don't even know if we have enough to fill up the entire board. It doesn't look like we do. It looks like we might have less red than we have black pieces. But it shouldn't really come too much into conflict during the game. If you do run out of pieces, I don't know, I guess you could actually just use your imagination and just say, hey, I moved here, or hey, I moved there, when you run out of pieces. So this game is very, I guess, workable. You can work around things. Or even if you don't have the pieces, maybe if you're lucky, a checkers piece might work. And this game is actually relatively inexpensive. I'm not going to lie, guys. This game cost me about, I don't know, the sticker on the box says $1.99 at Goodwill, so you usually find this at Goodwill quite often. So yeah, let's just fill this up. Looks like we got quite a few more black pieces than red. Okay, so let's just do the ultimate flush of Connect 4. Here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa, that was cool, guys. And that's Connect 4 today on Happy Beard Games, BeardGames. Okay, guys, that's been Connect 4. It's a very fun, simplistic game for ages 7 and up for 2 players by Milton Bradley and Hasbro. Now, this is a pretty fun game. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for my review, just because it's simple fun. It has a lot of elements of checkers and also connecting the dots and things like tic-tac-toe a little bit. It has that kind of feel of it. It has a presentation that's kind of like Battleship, and also it's unique in its vertical stand. I mean, it's a little bit cumbersome to figure out how to put together, but once you get that put together, within 5 minutes you're good to go. And the game's quick and simple. That's a really fun thing to have. In addition, this game is targeted for ages 7 years old, so I'm going to say that that's a good age range for this, and also it's good because that reflects my score, because 5 out of 5, kids can have fun with this at that age. They can have a lot of fun with this game, and it's memorable too. I don't think too many people my age would have fun playing this game unless they're playing it with their children, and that's the age like 20 to 30 year olds. But yeah, I don't know, it's really fun and simplistic, but at the same time, there's not too much for an older audience. You know, some games, games like the game Life, the game Battleship, the game Clue, those games are games that can usually be enjoyed by kids and adults. Connect 4, not so much, but at the same time, it's a really good game. It's a game that's been remade over the years many, many times, and it is a lot of fun to play. So that's Connect 4, today on Happy Beard Games, BeardGames. Alright guys, I'm giving this a 5 out of 5 review, and I hope to see you next time on BeardGames. If you want to support my channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe today for more classic gaming goodness, and share it with your friends on various social media. It really does help, guys. And I want to thank you for all the subscribers so far, all the views, and the likes, and the comments that I've gotten on my past Beard Games and other video game videos on Happy Beard Games. Alright guys, thanks for watching Happy Beard Games. Until next time, Happy Beard Games. I'll see you then. Happy Beard Games, out!